Okay, so when you try to do a video at the beach, that's what happens, because there's not a lot of internet connection out here, so the feed is weak. So anyway, so I'm gonna get back into this. So I was just talking about, so those of you who were on, I'm sorry, come back on. But we're talking about confidence, and I was telling them that there are a lot of, this week I've been dealing with a lot of people who have great talents, great skills, great passions, but they're lacking the confidence to actually step out and do something towards their biggest dream. And so I was reading this morning about Jesus and kind of when he started his ministry, and the first thing that happens is God names him and says, "You are my son, who I'm well pleased." He puts a destiny on his life, and he says, "I'm well pleased," even before he's even done anything. So I want to tell you guys that if you believe that there's a destiny on your life, if you believe that God has called you to do something bigger, if you believe that there's a calling on your life, I want you to know that God is pleased with you right now and right then, before you've even started. Because a lot of you are so afraid of failure that you're allowing that to step in between the destiny that's been placed on your life. Every experience that you've been through has been for a reason, and you know that. 90% of the time when people come to me, and they're coming because they want to know, like, you know, I need help trying to figure out what my passions are, 90% of the time, I swear, it's already there. They already know what it is. They've already had 4 or 5 of their friends or family members to say, hey, you should do this. But what they're really looking for is somebody to say, you can do this. So I'm here to tell you that you can do it. And so if we look at the life of Jesus, God says, "You are my son." The Spirit comes down on him. "With you I'm well pleased." Before he's even started his ministry. And then at the very beginning, the next thing that it says that happens in Matthew is that Jesus gets tempted. He gets tempted. And when we look at where the tempter, it just says the tempter in the Bible, right? So where the tempter tempted him, the first thing he says is, or the first thing he does is he gives Jesus, he tries to give him exactly what it is that he wants, right? So he's been fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, and the tempter comes and says, here's some bread. I'm gonna give you some food to eat. So some of you started on the pathway to success. I was talking about confidence, and this has gone in a completely different direction, but I'm just gonna feel the Spirit, and I'm just gonna go with where the Spirit is taking us, okay? So this, I don't know if you guys gonna get confidence out of this or you're gonna get something else, but I'm just going with what's coming to me, all right? And so the tempter offers him bread. He offers him exactly what it is that he needs at the moment. Jesus needs food because he's been fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. I've never fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. I've done like a day and I felt like I was going to kill myself. So I can't even imagine 40 days and 40 nights with no food, and then somebody comes along and says, here is some bread for you. So the reason I say that is some of you right now, you're in a place where you were following your dream. You went to college maybe and you majored in exactly what it was that you wanted to do. You had a big dream and you took the steps, and somehow along the way something went awry because they gave you what you thought it was that you wanted, right? You thought you wanted the 9-to-5 job with the salary, with the benefits. You thought you wanted all of those things, and then somewhere along the way you're like, no, but there's something bigger. There's something bigger calling on my life, and this whole 9-to-5, everything that you guys painted this picture to be, it's not what it's not what it seems to be. And so be careful about saying yes to the things that look like it might be helping you to fulfill your destiny, but it really isn't. Because a lot of you right now are doing means to an end thinking, and I go there myself, where you're like, you know what, this isn't exactly what I want to do, but it's gonna get me to a place of where I can do what it is that I want to do, instead of just doing what it is that you want to do and letting everything else take care of itself. I guarantee you, if you focus on the result that you actually want, you focus on giving to the world, using your gifts, your talents, your dreams, everything else will fall into place. The money will come, the connections will come, the people will come, the coaches, the teachers, the people that you need in your life will come to fill the spaces that you need them to fill. Okay, so be careful about that. And going back to confidence, that's one of the things that will wreck your confidence. Thinking I'm pursuing what it is that I want to pursue, but then it doesn't end up being all that it's cracked up to be, and then you start to question yourself, and you start to question your own decisions. And the only way to really get get that back is to just keep getting into action, get back into action. So you fell out of alignment with where it was you want to be. Well, get back into alignment, get closer. What makes you excited? What makes you happy? What makes you want to get up in the morning? And just start doing more of that. Get into the spirit. Like, I love walking on the beach in the morning. And I got up this morning, I was like, oh, I have so many things to do. My Passion to Profits program is starting today. I'm so excited. Yay! I can't wait to work with these amazing entrepreneurs and new entrepreneurs. But I woke up like, oh my God, I have so many things to do. But I'm like, no. I love getting spiritually fed. I love going for a morning walk. I'm going to continue doing the things that I love to do so that following my dreams doesn't become a drudge. It doesn't become like, oh my God, all I do is work all day, even though I love what I do, right? So be careful about getting off the path so that you can just have a little of what it is that you really want. The second thing the tempter did was he questioned who Jesus was. So remember, God had just said, the Spirit came down, you're my son with whom I am well pleased. He put a name on him. He gave him destiny right there at that moment, right? So the next thing that the tempter does is he starts to question him. Well, if you really are the Son of God, then you should be able to do this, this, and this, right? So I want you to think about in your life right now, where is that little voice in your head taking down your confidence by saying, well, if you were as talented as you say that you are, why haven't you done it yet? Why haven't you made the money you want to make? Why haven't you started that business? Why didn't you do? Why is it that every time you start something, you quit? That's the voice that will take you down. That voice will defeat you every time if you listen to it. And so I want you to look at what is the tempter in your mind saying to you that keeps you safe, that keeps you in that box where you're not actually going after your dream, you're not actually going after your destiny. What is it? And usually it's going to be something that attacks who you are. It'll be things like, well, your parents didn't do this. Nobody in your family's ever done this. Who are you to do this? And that's where that who are you voice comes from, okay? So the tempter always attacks your character and always attacks the destiny that's been placed on your life. So remember that. So when you're feeling that feeling of, well, I'm not good enough, or who am I to go out and try that, just remember, that's not you, that's the tempter inside of you. That's the tempter trying to keep you in your place, trying to keep you in a place where you're not living out your destiny. And your destiny is the number one thing that you should be chasing in your life. Everything else comes around that. That destiny, what is that vision that God has placed on your life? And that's always going to be what the tempter goes after. And so I say all that to say, guys, your confidence is one of the most important things that you can have when it comes to going after your dreams. So you got to protect your heart. You got to protect your mind. You got to protect your confidence with everything that you have. So here's some of the ways that you can start working on rebuilding your confidence. Number one, you got to get back into action. So what generally happens when we have a defeat, you just want to feel that pain, or we try to numb out. We watch TV, we do things that try to take our minds off of it, and we get so afraid of trying again because we never want to feel that pain of defeat again. But here's the thing about failure. Failure does take you down, and it does take a little bit of your self-esteem, but it's also a learning tool. So every time you fail, you learn a little bit quicker. You learn about what it is that you should do the next time. You learn, and the only thing that will keep you from learning is if you quit. Is if you say this is too hard, or this doesn't work, or I tried it once. Do you know how many really extremely successful people have tried and failed? And they just kept trying and trying and trying. Think about the guy who created 409. He named it Formula 409 because that's the one that worked. 408 times he tried and failed. How many times have you tried that thing that it is that you want to do? If you haven't tried 408 times, then you need to keep going. You know, you need to keep going. The second thing, so get back into action. The second thing that I want you guys to focus on is focus on replacing the thoughts in your mind that tell you that you're not good enough. Every time you have a negative thought, I want you to get a counteractive positive thought, and every time that thought comes up, I want you to repeat the positive thought instead. And realize that the negative thought is not you. Some of you believe that that's who you are. That's not who you are. That's the tempter in your mind that's telling you who you can't be and what you can't do. So you got to counteract that with positive thoughts. Okay, so if you're feeling like, well, I'm not smart enough to do that, you counteract that with, well, I've been smart enough to get out of school, I've been smart enough to take myself, I'm smart enough to get myself in the place that I am right now, and I think I can be smart enough to get myself out of. Everything that you currently see in your life, you've managed to acquire that. You've managed to make that happen. If you can make that happen, you can make something else happen. It's just what you've been focusing on. Okay, so make sure you get the positive thoughts. There was something else I was going to say and I forgot what it was. Hey John, hey Chanel, hey Sava. But more than anything else, you want to focus on making sure that you do protect your confidence. If you're feeling down, pick yourself back up. Watch some motivational videos, watch some films, put on some inspiring music. I actually have a playlist called Inspiration, and so those are the days when I need a little pick-me-up. I got, you know, all of my pick-me-up songs on there that helps me to get into the state of feeling successful, of the state of feeling like I'm here to help the world. And then go out for a walk. Do something to change what you're feeling. Okay, your body and your mind work interchangeably. So if you're sitting in a dark room, if you're sitting in front of the TV, if you're slumping around, all of that makes you think negative thoughts. It makes you feel bad. So if you wanna easily change the way you're feeling, get out and change your environment. Go do something different. Go for a long drive. Go for a drive in a beautiful area and believe that one day I'm gonna live there. I used to come for years. I've lived in LA for 11 years, and so I've always come to Laguna Beach. And I would come for just like a day to get away or something. Like if I was really stressed out, I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna drive down Laguna. It's only an hour and a half away. And I always said, I would be like, man, I would love to live there. I just love to live there. And this time I'm living here, you know? So you never know what doing things like that will do for you. So get out and just do something different. Do something different. Okay, guys. I think that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. It's so